So, whenever I say something about my past, growing up ugly and people saying some bad things about me, growing up poor, not even having enough food to eat, people absolutely love hearing about that. It creates a sort of connection, a sort of bond. They tell me their stories about their past, something bad that happened to them, their secrets, and it is such a wholesome, such a nice thing. Even for my YouTube videos, when I talk about something bad that happened to me, even if that video gets less views, the amount of likes, the amount of comments, it is significantly high. People tell me something similar that happened to them, which again is quite wholesome. There is this very famous book called 48 Laws of Power. The author of this book also wrote another book called as The Art of Seduction. The word seduction here means seduction in politics, in romantic relationships, in friendships, which sounds kind of wrong, but yeah, you get my point. The word seduction here basically means having influence on other people, making other people love you. And according to this book, the core of seduction is vulnerability, being more open and showing your weak side. Now, think about what is the opposite of being vulnerable, being weak. It is being perfect, having no weakness, and you might think that a perfect person is going to be so attractive and stuff, but that is not the case. Just try to imagine a person who is good looking, rich, intelligent, strong, all this stuff. Because he is so perfect, he is going to be extremely unapproachable. There is going to be one group of people thinking that this person is so perfect, why would he talk to me? There is going to be another small group of people who are insecure, who are jealous, and they don't like this person. And this group of people is going to think no one is perfect, he has to have some flaws, and they will start finding some small details about this person which are not perfect. They will start finding some mistakes in this person. Even if that person has amazing social skills, but that person is not vulnerable, he will only talk about some surface level things, some casual conversations, which makes it very difficult to connect to that person. But if you imagine someone who looks perfect on the surface, but has this weak, vulnerable side to him, and you know that side of him, you are going to connect to this person much better. There are a lot of famous books, a lot of famous animes, movies, which are based on this principle. Take 50 Shades of Grey, for example. On the surface, the main character looks perfect. The way he speaks, his communication, his tone of speaking, his looks, his intelligence, his net worth, all of that is insane. Perfect. He seems so perfect, so dominant that you almost start hating him. But when you find out about his past, how he went through so much trauma as a kid, his self esteem issues, his fucked up past, when you see that weak, vulnerable side of him, and then you see that he is so perfect now, that makes him more human, more relatable. You think that this guy was in a worse position than me and he is so perfect now. If he can do it, then I can do it too. That is inspiring, that is seductive. Now you might think, movies are movies, real life is much different, which is true. You cannot just go to some random stranger and start talking about your childhood trauma. That doesn't work. There are different stages of this. So let's say hypothetically, you want to get closer to someone. For the stage one, you're supposed to find some excuse to talk to that person. It can be anything, it doesn't really matter. Just make up some sort of excuse to start a conversation with that person. For the stage two, whenever you see that person, make eye contact and give a wholesome, sweet sort of smile. Even if you think that person does not remember you, it is still completely fine. This has happened to me, like on the receiving end. I have had people who I don't even know, but they know me, and they just start talking to me. And I don't really mind, I don't dislike it. It is probably a bit weird, but that is fine. Do this for a few days, maybe a few weeks, it depends on the situation. Regularly say hi and smile towards that person. For the stage 3, have some casual small talk. Show your sense of humor, show that you are very approachable, and just have some casual conversation. For the stage 4, talk about something that is kind of personal towards you, but not completely a secret. This is where you start building some connection. That person will start trusting you more, and maybe that person will also share some of their own secrets. Then comes stage 5, the final stage, where you talk about some of your secrets, your insecurities, your issues, all this stuff. Now, this is going to be extremely scary for a lot of people because you're supposed to show your weak side. You are supposed to talk about your insecurities. You don't even want to think about these things. but you're supposed to share these things with someone else. This is going to be difficult and scary for a lot of people, but once you get over this fear, it is an amazing tool. Now, for all of these 5 stages, there are 2 things that you are supposed to remember. The first one is that do not get self centered and only talk about yourself. Give that person some attention. There is this research where researchers analyze thousands of first dates to figure out what are the contributing factors of 2 people wanting to go on a second date. The first factor was, of course, looks. The second factor was asking questions about that person, asking questions about that person's beliefs, their hobbies, their way of thinking, what they like, what they dislike, all this stuff. Basically, taking interest in that person. So, when talking to someone, give that person a lot of attention. A vast majority of your conversation is supposed to be about that person. And about 30% of the conversation, it is supposed to be about you, about yourself. And in this 30%, you're supposed to build trust, you're supposed to show your sense of humor, and all the other things that we talked about in the 5 stages. The second thing to keep in mind is that learn to take some hints. If at any point it looks like that person doesn't really want to talk to you, just back off. Don't let your ego get in the way if that person doesn't really want to talk to you for some reason. That is okay. Just learn to back off. Now, how you portray your vulnerabilities is also very important. If you say it in some negative, gloomy way, like I was so poor and I got beaten up and I was very ugly and this happened and that happened and there was so much struggle in my life, that is extremely self centered. People will not like that. They don't want to babysit you. Say it with a lot of confidence and positive energy. In my YouTube videos, for example, whenever I talk about some bad thing that happened to me in the past, I try to portray it like this bad thing happened to me. It was terrible, but yeah, that was in the past. I'm completely fine now. And I try to say it with this positive energy. The problem is, it can get less effective when you say it like that. And to keep it more effective, while still having this positive energy, there is this one skill you absolutely need to have, which is storytelling. You are supposed to make other people feel what you felt while still having this positive energy. There are a lot of techniques for doing that, and I will go through 2 of them right now. The first one is describing the location. Doing this makes other people imagine things. So, for example, if I say, I was eating popcorn, you don't imagine anything. But if I say that, I am sitting on a sofa watching TV and there is a bag of popcorn in my hands. This triggers your imagination. You imagine me sitting on a sofa and eating popcorn. You know how in anime and movies, when the main character is talking about his past, they show some flashbacks from his past, how that person was as a kid, and you can literally see what was going in his life. In real life, unfortunately, you cannot show other people some flashbacks, but you can use your words to make people imagine things. The first method was by describing the location. The second method is by telling your stories in present tense. This creates some mystery in the story. People think that the things are happening right now in front of them. So, for example, if I say that, she tells me this, but I thought that she was lying to me. It sounds like it happened in the past, and I thought that she was lying to me. She was not lying to me, it was only a thought. She was telling the truth. But if I say the same sentence like, she is telling me something, but I'm thinking that she is lying to me, it implies that I'm still thinking I don't know if she is lying to me or not. It is only a thought that I'm having right now. In the future, anything can happen. Maybe the story will end right now, and we still don't know if that person is lying or not. Maybe that person was telling the truth. It can be anything. Using these 2 techniques together can make your storytelling much better. There are a few more techniques which you can learn in this video, so check it out. In the description of this video, there is a link to my Patreon, so do check it out. Thank you so much for watching and goodbye.